DBX Studios with Cool Hand Chris, and I'd like to welcome Mr. Paul Frederick?
Yeah. No S.
No S.
I gotta give it.
That's probably a common thing, isn't it? People do that frequently.
Or S-O-N or S-E-N. It's like, whatever. Just don't call me asshole. That's all right,
Just don't call me late for dinner?
Yeah, no.
How you doing today, sir?
All right, how you doing?
Oh, too good. It's good to have you here. This has been a long time coming. I've been wanting to do this interview with you for years now. And it's really cool now that we live close enough we can just kind of knock one of these out whenever. What's going on with you musically right now? What's your, do you have a steady lineup or a steady band that you're playing with, or just kind of rolling through?
It's Slapping Her in Blue, and it's 100th incarnation, you know.
I was going to say, I knew you guys came back, but I didn't know it was a permanent thing. I didn't know if it was like a one-off or...
No, it's bring a lot of people in and out of the band, you know.
Keep fresh.
31 years, man.
Man, that's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. And you've got a gig coming up at PK's, is that right?
Yeah, that's the 67th anniversary
of PK's?
PK's.
Wow. It's been, how long has it been since Gwen's been gone? 3 or 4 years? 5?
3.
You probably dealt with her quite a bit over the years.
Oh yeah, bartender there, and I was a janitor there.
I forgot about you being a bartender there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hear a lot of stories from musicians about her. She didn't take any crap.
No. Well, you got to figure it at the time, man. She was one of the only women bartender,
right?
I mean, owners,
sure,
of bars. And,
sure.
And they tried to get her out of there for years when they were building that new civic center.
Right.
They wanted to buy up that block,
tear it down.
Yeah, and she said no, and that she stood her ground, you know.
And lucky for us, we have something that we can go to and cherish now.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, you know, after the Hangar 9's collapsed there from the roof, it kind of seemed like the scene shifted down the street a little bit. A lot of bands, my son was in a band, and they ended up playing Boobies, which Boobies didn't have bands before. And then a lot of bands that only played the Hangar started going to PK's.
Yeah, Boobies was fun.
Boobies was fun. That's too bad that's gone. That was such a Carbondale kind of place, you know.
Well, prior to that, there was the club.
I remember that. It burnt down, didn't it?
Yeah, that was it. I'm sorry, but that place.
That's when I first came to Carbondale. That was a rough little joint there.
It was awesome, man. It was like 5 nights a week they had music of some kind there, but you hated to miss a night, you know, because everybody be talking, gee, what happened at the club last night? You know, it was like, oh, you know, man, I missed it, you know. And
Carbondale was wild and crazy, but it was a lot of fun back then.
Yeah.
It's a shame that they had to get rid of Halloween the way they did. I don't know.
Well, that was the city's fault because they didn't know how to deal with it.
Well, you know, they like to blame it on people started throwing full beer cans in the crowd randomly, and you know that's probably some truth to that. But when you got fucking 10,000 people, you're gonna have some stuff happen. I mean,
but I think if the city and the police would have got together, they could have handled it.
They could have. You're right.
You know,
I think they could have. Yeah.
You know, and then years later, you know, after put the kibosh on it, man, then they start realizing, hey, man, we can make some money, so they start bringing it back, you know. And then even now, man, every now and then they have that free zone uptown where you can, you know, drink beer, walk around with a beer or something. That's a good idea, and people haven't been getting out of hand when they do it, you know.
I think that's a great idea.
When I first came down there, man, it was so much fun. Like Friday at 3 o'clock, man, hordes of people would be on uptown on Illinois Street. It took you an hour to get from one point to the other. Well, Friday and Saturday afternoons, like Das Fass, that's no longer there. The Hangar, they had afternoon bands, you know, like 3 to 6.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And
wow,
people go home and they sleep for an hour and come back out, you know.
I forgot about daytime bands at bars here. It seems like a Nashville kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, Gatsby's had it too.
Wow.
PK's did.
Wow. That's hard to believe that they could afford to do that.
Well, they didn't pay anything, but the bands always get screwed, don't you understand that?
The afternoon band was playing for beer if they were lucky. That's something else I've noticed when I watch bands in Carbondale. They don't bring a big old tray of free drinks out to the band anymore like they used to. It's like Seems like back in the 80s, they'd bring out a round for the whole band at least 2 or 3 times throughout the night. And
well, that's because they weren't paying them, goddamn.
Oh, I guess that must have been how the math all worked out, yeah. But they don't even do that now.
Oh, I don't care if I'm getting paid tonight. You know what I'm saying.
You know, certain bands like, Bourbon Nights maybe, it kind of makes sense. They're like, their whole theme is drinking.
Yeah, really.
So, why don't you tell me a little bit about pre-Carbondale? What makes a Tawl Paul? I know Chicago, obviously.
Yeah.
Tell me about Southside Chicago and what life was back in your day.
Well,
as a kid, what did you do? What did your parents do for a living? I mean, stuff like that.
My dad was a forklift operator.
Made good money.
And
hard work.
Really, at the time.
Well, back then, you're right, probably.
We're living in the projects, man.
Oh, wow.
You know.
And he had a job that good. That's hard to believe.
My mom worked in, like, in whatever she could, like, you know,
like a lot of women
grocery store.
Sure.
And the thing was, there's all races, all, you know, different kinds of races of people in there. And but the thing, the cohesive thing about it was nobody had a damn thing, and people took care of one another. You know, and it didn't matter what color you were. Everybody was in the same boat. So, you know, let's make the best of it. You know? What was really freaky though, man, is like they put up the projects as far out as the city as you could go because of those people, and they built these frame houses where we lived in, you know, and you had to walk a mile and a half to get a bus to get into the city.
Wow.
You know, they shoved it all out there, you know, but
which made grocery shopping and stuff like that for your mom, I'm sure, hard.
Oh yeah, it was like a big deal on Saturday. You get into the city and get the groceries.
Did they have a car, or did they have to rely on?
Not in the beginning, you know. Eventually, we got a car, and that was like, wow, you know. It was like like Dickens says, like the best of times, the worst of times. You know what I'm saying? But
everybody does that. Brings out the best in some people and the worst in others sometimes.
Oh yeah, but I see the way things are now, and it's just like, man, you know, I kind of long for that, you know.
Simple.
The camaraderie, you know, the people.
We're all in the same boat.
Right.
Yes, sir.
It's just a weirdo. At one point, Chicago Housing Authority, they start building those big high-rises, you know what they call the projects now,
sure.
You know, in the inner city, you know. They just said, hey, either you move there or find a way, you better find a home, you know.
Is that what they've done recently?
No, when they ended the projects where we lived, you know, they said, hey, you move to this high rise or buy. And they gave everybody, you know, like 6 months to get the hell out of there, you know. But I sure do miss it though, you know.
You're talking about what, early 60s or something maybe?
No, man, 50s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was after World War II in the 50s, a lot of the social programs really kicked in.
Well, there was no housing. That's why they built those projects. You know, everybody's coming back from the war, from what I understand.
Right.
But it was good times. You know.
You said your parents, your dad worked on a forklift?
Yeah.
Forklift driver? Did he do that his whole life? Did he die young?
Later on, you know, he became a janitor at a high school.
That's a good steady gig.
It was.
Low stress, I bet.
Yeah.
I've done it before, so I know.
Benefits. You know, he got good benefits and everything, so he ended up okay, man. You know.
That's good. There's a happy ending to it all.
Yeah.
That's good. You're an only child, or you have any siblings? Or?
My sister, but she passed away about 10 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Was she around here, or?
No.
She stayed back home?
Yeah. All my relatives are still in Chicago, you know, or the suburbs, you know.
Do you ever go back, or?
Oh, yeah. I go see my cousins. They're crazy people.
Were your parents like a big influence on you musically? Was there a lot of music in the house, or is that something you picked up on your own?
Man, house parties.
So you kind of got into it a little later?
No, when I was a little kid, man, you know, like all the relatives would pile in your house.
Yeah.
And nobody had no money, so everybody bring food, booze, and then they play the Victrola.
That's awesome. Hey, at least you had something. Man.
78 records, plunking.
Clunk.
Clunk.
Big old heavy things.
Yeah, and then I'd be sitting in the hallway and they'd go, turn the records over. So I'd go over there and put the records over.
That's what they had you for.
Yeah, that's all.
Record flipper.
No, that and putting tinfoil on the rabbit ears on the television.
Hey, go get me a beer, right?
No, go change the channel because there wasn't no damn remotes.
Oh, wow. You had to like move them around and stuff?
Yeah, and then they put tinfoil on the aerials to try to get better reception. I was like, go move the aerial around.
I've done that.
Yeah, but they played all kinds of music. You know, my parents were into all kinds. You know, country, jazz, blues.
Are they originally from Chicago?
Oh yeah.
So okay, there's
Southside, born and raised.
So they're probably a lot of different influences probably in their life.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Healthy ones.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I hear people that talk like, wow, there's no music in my family when I grew up. I just look at them like, wow, I feel sorry for you. You were abused.
Really? Yeah, there's always some kind of music going on.
You got a radio. I mean, come on.
Radio.
You can listen to something.
Yeah.
I used to leave CIL on overnight as a kid, just as background noise. So there was always music kind of like going on somehow.
Well, transistor radios were fun because they were like about the size of a cigarette pack. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember those at all.
Yeah, I bet our older sister had one.
Okay, but hiding underneath the pillow at night, I'm supposed to be sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Listening to WVON, that was the black station.
I haven't thought of that. So you could totally get away with listening to stuff when they thought you were asleep.
Every now and then. Are you asleep? Yeah.
Sure. They hear you tapping on the wall.
Yeah, really. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you could be getting in worse trouble. What was, did you have a favorite kind of music growing up, or just whatever your parents were playing? Or
yeah.
What did you gravitate to? Do you recall something early on that just like really grabbed you and you gravitated to that? Like some people say the Beatles and some people say Elvis, some say Little Richard.
The black station.
Okay.
Because like on the white stations they were playing Pat Boone, who copped the songs from the black people and made hits out of them. And just one night I was flipping channels and I started hearing the original songs, like done by the original
songs,
people,
yeah,
the original people.
Instead of canned crap.
And I said, I ain't buying no more Pat Boone and all that stuff, man,
It's fun.
No, I got wise to what was going on, like white artists were stealing, the black music,
Sure.
And so that's how I got, hearing the blues.
So you're like, I'm just going to go to the source. I don't need to go to these middlemen. These white middlemen.
I didn't say it actually, but in my head I'm going, why listen to that when I can have that? You know what I'm saying?
Common sense, I would think. That's good.
Well, that's pretty cool for being 9 or 10 and figuring that one out.
Right. Well, yeah, early on you had a good bullshit barometer, it sounds like. You didn't really play in music as a kid though? That was something post service?
No, that's
am I right or wrong?
No, I never did.
That's odd that you waited so long. A lot of people, don't if the boat is past them by then, they never get the nerve to do it.
I did. I just said, hey, I'm doing it. And
well, you went to you served in Vietnam, right?
Mm-mm.
No. I read that on the internet. So that's a wrong one.
It's a wrong one. I tried to correct it.
You did serve?
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, I'm sure that gave you some wherewithal to the world. And some confidence.
Well,
so what's a stage, right?
You learned how to be on your own. Plus, you also had to depend on other people too. You know what I mean? That's where comradeship comes in.
And that's where a band works, right?
Some of them.
If you can make it work.
Some of them.
Idealistically, that's where a band should be, but
really.
So you were how old then when you started actually getting on a stage?
Well, I did theater.
Was that high school, college theater?
High school, college. But then, when I went to college, I flopped the first time, and then I went in the Army and came back, and that's when I got smart about education, and buckled down. I came to SIU and got a degree in theater.
Really? That's cool.
Bachelor's, yeah.
Wow.
But that's when the theater department at SIU was awesome, man. They had some really funky people.
Everything was awesome back then.
It don't seem like they're doing much in the theater, you know, the last 10, 20 years.
I agree. Places like Shroud used to have theater year-round. It seemed like every month there was some other production. And then the bands that came there back in the 80s or late 70s and 80s, my God, dude.
Talking Heads I saw there.
Depeche Mode. Yeah. I mean, I could just, these weird European, like MTV bands that you never would have thought would come here.
No.
Came blowing through.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Shryock had some great shows, man. It was like, wow.
And you know, I regret all the times I just didn't have that $8 it took to get in there.
Ain't that the turbo?
King Crimson, I missed them twice because I couldn't come up with $8 or some shit.
Been there, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you look at some old those reproductions of rock posters, you know, Led Zeppelin, all them, and then when you see the price like $12, and
just like, well, I couldn't come up with $12.
Yeah, I couldn't. Amen. No, man. I gotta eat this week.
That's really what it came down to. Yeah, rent or a rock concert, you know. And then you had to go like wait in line for your ticket.
I just decided at one point, you know, like, I graduated from SIU and I was going to graduate school, and I want to sing, man. That's, you know, where
was that always kind of in your back of your mind?
Always.
Okay, man. Yeah. There's the genesis of it. You always had that longing.
Well, a lot of it has to do with parents too, like that they wouldn't have stood for that, you know, like, oh, you go to college and you become this and that, and finally there was that one day, I don't know what happened, this is what I want to do, I'm going to do it, you know.
How did your parents take that?
Well, by then my mom passed away, and my dad, you know, just kind of like scratched his head, you know, like, well,
whatever. You know. Whatever makes you happy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Your first band, you went straight to singing. Was there any instruments that you ever dabbled with or gave a shit about?
Guitar, but I just couldn't connect
I was the same way.
The voice with the fingers. You know.
The left to the right. So how did you find yourself in Carbondale? Was it just like SIU, the natural?
Yeah, that was it.
They were giving out a lot of money back then, weren't they? Post-service, trying to get people to come to college? No?
Not when I came down. I was on the GI Bill, you know. But, I don't remember any of that, man, you know.
Well, the GI Bill, didn't that give you, like, free tuition or something?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, it was free tuition.
Well, you know.
No, I'm not.
That got you to Carbondale. So you found your little niche, your little blues niche?
I've left though, you know, like I moved to Seattle.
Right.
Joined a band up there, but right place, wrong time. It was the beginning it was all new wave, and the very skeleton of grunge was starting. You know?
Oh wow, yeah, blues doesn't fit very well between those two.
Well, there's only one really blues band in Seattle, and that was like Robert Cray. And then he left, you know. There was really no blues scene up there at all.
You being a true blues man, how do you feel about bands like the Blues Travelers? My father's like, that's not blues. I'm like, well, it draws on blues so strongly.
Well, yeah, but what the fuck is the blues? The blues is how you interpret it.
That's a good answer, yeah.
You know, like Joe Cocker's a good example. People bitch about it. Oh, he went too pop. You know, because he was doing, you know, songs, but he made them his own. It was the blues. You know, that song was the blues, you know.
So your first band, what was the name? Do you recall?
Yeah. Oh, I hope so. Mad Dog, the Boogeyman, and Weird Carl.
That was the whole name?
It was the name. And it was a guitar player, a conga player, and me singing.
Oh my, that's an interesting booking right there.
Yeah.
And that was probably hard to put on a small flyer too, that long
really.
name.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that lasted about a good year and a half. Then got recruited being Pontiac Jones.
I remember that.
And
Pontiac Jones.
Then they had like about 2-year run, and then I got fired, and Big Twist got hired, and you know what happened after that.
Yeah, when you up and left me, I said I didn't care, Lord child. Come no smile, I was Lord, I reach out, you're not there. Yeah, when the blues come a knocking, no.
Blues come knocking.
The blues come a knocking.
Blues come knocking.
The blues come a knocking out. Ain't no place to hide. Once I played around, mama, I left you all alone. You know your heart, child, Lord, it turned to stone. Yeah, when the blues come a knocking,
Blues come
Lord,
knocking.
them blues come knocking.
Blues come
Lord, when the
knocking.
blues come knocking, Lord, ain't no place to hide. Say forget you, ain't no way, Lord, I care now. I heard yesterday you done found yourself a younger man. Yeah, when the blues come knocking,
Blues come knocking.
the blues come knocking.
Blues come knocking.
When the blues come knocking down, there ain't no place to hide. Mountain, I'm gonna sail out on that sea. Yeah, I bought myself some jack. Yeah, it don't good, ain't no good for me. Yeah, when the blues come knocking,
Blues come knocking.
yeah, my God, Lord.
Blues come knocking.
When the blues come knocking down, I ain't got no place to hide.
But when I first came down here, it was that's where all the vets hung out. You know, that was, I'm talking about the 70s, you know. And then I left town, you know, Seattle, and when I came back, that was like early 80s.
That's when I kind of got in there. Yeah.
That's when Bob Felt, you know, on Boobies, him and his father bought the club. And the whole world changed. It was just amazing.
Wow. Well, that was a different time for sure.
It was really cool. They had like a place where, you know, supposedly you're supposed to store the kegs, you know, like a locker thing. But there was no beer in there. It was everybody going in there running, token up, and sometimes you open the door and people would fall out and the smoke would just drift out through the bar.
When you start actually dabbling with going in the studio and recording stuff, was that a much later thing, or?
91, Harry Klein, you know, Second Chance. He had us do a live album at Hammer 9. That was the first time.
I forgot about that, yes.
And then off and on, I'd go in the studio, you know, people ask me to do songs and stuff like that. But the last album, the one that just came out a year ago, that was the first time in the studio for years and years, and it was like, wow, what a difference.
How things have changed technologically.
Yeah, it was like before, if you fucked up, if you're doing a song in the studio, they'd have to rewind the tape. This last time, oh no, you got those 2 words wrong. And the guy just punches it in, and I'm going,
cut it up.
Yeah, you don't have to sing the whole damn song all over again. So it was like a real.
That's more common. Yeah. Where'd you do that? Where'd you record it?
Oh, I forget the name of this studio.
Was it a guy's place?
Yeah,
his personal studio?
Yeah.
That's Just How I Am. Was that the name of the album? I like that. And The Blues Comes Knocking. How that song stands out to me.
Yeah, that's like Ken McDaniels.
I like that Soul Sisters in the background.
Yeah.
That kind of adds a little something to it. And you got an original song on there too.
Yeah. That
Bald Headed Blues?
Bald Headed Blues, yeah.
How did you, how'd that come about as far as, because you don't seem like you write a lot. Did that just
No. It was
just some afternoon something clicked with you? Or?
Yeah, I looked in the mirror and there was no hair on the top of my head, so I said, fuck it,
There's your inspiration.
Yeah, that was it. The biggest inspiration. Start shaving everything. Start shaving it all off, chap.
When did you start losing your hair?
Oh, gee, early, man.
Real early.
It's genetic, man.
My son's doomed on that. By the time he was 30, the show was
I wish
basically
I had
over.
your hair, you know what I'm saying?
This is all I got.
I've got a clump in the back trying to grow a braid for 5 years and it won't work,
Well, luckily for you, the bald looks popular now. Unlike, say, 30 or 40 years ago. I mean, people shave their heads all the time now.
Amen.
So you're not like some freak out there, looks like a mass murderer or something.
Totally what it was back in the day, man. Boy, that guy's really bad.
He just must have got out of prison. Look at him.
Yeah, really. No, I'm so glad people started shaving their heads, man. Plus a do-rag, I got 50 do-rags,
Oh, yeah. Well, you used to wear...
It's a poor man's wig, you know what I'm saying?
Poor man's wig, that's funny.
Really.
You used to wear a beret a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, off and on.
Like in the 70s, 80s?
Yeah. Anything to hide the baldness,
Well, that's, it's a cool hat, too. Did you, back when you first came here in the 80s, did you get a chance to go to see any large bands at the arena?
Oh, yeah.
Like REO Speedwagon, Kansas, all those bands? Chicago, I missed that one.
Yeah, I got to introduce them, actually. It was fun.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Well, I was in the theater department, and this guy just walked up to me and said, hey, you want to introduce a band? I said, oh, okay, who? Chicago. So,
he knew you had a cool voice, and that was like obvious for him, probably. Yeah,
I guess.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the original Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Yeah.
James Taylor. Who else? Waylon Jennings, Dolly Parton.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know he came here.
Well, Elvis did about a year before he died. That was sad.
Yeah.
Because he was like bloated, really bloated.
When you saw him?
Yeah. And the thing about, Elvis it was really sad because he was holding lyrics up.
It was that bad, huh?
Well, songs that he sang for how many years,
You should be able to remember them,
Yeah. But
that sounds like pills there.
But then, at certain points in the concert, he was just like awesome. It's like, oh, Elvis is back, forget what he looks like, and all the other stuff, So it's kind of like sad, but,
Still magical, kind of?
Yeah, magical sad. Is there such a thing? Shryock, though, you were talking about that earlier. Shryock is where the really awesome concerts were, man.
Oh, no, there wasn't really a bad seat in the house, hardly, compared
to an old opera house.
Just so small and so tight. That's why I couldn't believe some of the bands that would go there and play there, back then.
Oh, I forgot James Brown.
What?
And Tina Turner. I forgot about them.
Don't forget about that now.
James Brown, he was pretty wild.
I hope so.
And,
where was this?
And that was like 1970.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just a year after I got down here. He was here. And then I
you
continued.
saw them separately. They weren't together, were they?
No, I continued Turner, but the concert for them was like 2 hours late because he wouldn't accept a check.
That sounds so much like him.
They had
He wants cash up front.
Yeah, somebody knew somebody. It was one of the banks, so they got him to go to the bank to cash the
cover
check and then bring the cash back.
I heard Chuck Berry was the same way. You had to pay him in advance. He wasn't going to take a check or an IOU or a see you later or nothing.
Well, that first year I was down here, you know where the Newman Center is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Harry Klein, at that time, he managed a record store, a chain record store in town.
Yeah.
So he arranged to have Chuck Berry come and play here behind the Newman Center.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Okay.
That's cool.
So, anyways, the sound system went out, and they were using generators or whatever. He took off in a car and never played. I think he did one song when the generator went off. And he just
I'm done. I don't blame him. He's a legend. He didn't have to put up that crap. If you can't get your shit together, why should I, you know?
Yeah, well, there was a pissed off crowd, you know what I'm saying?
That's the problem, is he pissed his fans off. Yeah, you're right about that for sure.
Oh, God, that was really something, man.
I never heard that story.
If you ever get a chance to talk to Harry Klein again, ask him about the Chuck Berry thing.
I will. I don't see him very often. Usually it's at a show, and since we don't have shows, you know how that goes. Tina Turner, she was from East St. Louis, wasn't she?
Originally from Tennessee.
Okay.
And then she moved up there with her mother or something, and then that's when she hooked up with Ike.
And before she passed, Sharon Clark told me she grew up across the street or down the street from Tina Turner. I believe she said something like that.
Who?
Sharon Clark, is it?
Yeah.
From singer?
That one.
Yeah. Tina Turner's still alive too. Hard to believe.
Yeah, they got a documentary on HBO.
A recent one?
Yeah, it's about a month ago, and you can pick it up and see it. It's really good.
I'll check that out. Yeah, I can watch a documentary on making butter or noodles or something. I just love documentaries. Yeah,
me too.
The most boring stuff. Also, it's fascinating. If you show me how it works, the nut and bolts of it.
Well, documentaries really make you aware. You know, especially about a person. You know what I'm saying? You just know what's written in the newspapers or something, but when in depth,
gives you insight.
I really dig Ken Burns, man. His documentary.
Yeah,
he's the one on jazz.
He's a master of telling stories for sure. He did the one on the Civil War. That was really good. Everything he does is good. You can't say.
He's got one on. I think coming out this week with Muhammad Ali.
I saw that advertised on PBS. You don't actually have to live the blues to play the blues, do you?
Yeah.
It's a state of mind. Is it an art form you can just learn, you think? Or is it got to be something deeper?
You either have it or you don't.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can't learn the blues, you know what I mean?
You can learn it, but you can't do it good.
Well, it's kind of like I said before, everybody's got them in their own respect, you know.
You just got to be able to tap into it.
Exactly. And make it relatable to the people that you're singing for, you know.
That is one of the strengths of the blues, I think, is the connection between the audience and the musicians. Yeah. How did you feel about Tawl Paul Day? Was that were you surprised, or was that long overdue?
None of the above, man.
None of them. You were just like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it came from.
Tell me where to show up.
No, it just came from left field, and my initial reaction was, there's so many other people out here doing really good stuff. So I didn't think I was worthy of it. Bill Carter told me, he said, "Hey man, it's kind of like almost a done deal. So you'd be an asshole if you don't show up."
That's a good point. You probably would have looked a little.
But
unappreciative.
Yeah, it was an awesome day, man. I was overwhelmed.
Oh, I remember I was there. The mayor introducing you and talking about that was really a touching moment.
I was blown away. I'm glad it happened.
Oh, me too.
Well, I like every year. PK does the Tawl Paul Day. Every June. And it's not about me, it's about people getting together, you know, and it's like, it's really fun because a lot of people don't see each other.
Except for that?
You know, they don't come to town, you know, they live in the area or whatever. And it's like people making new friends too, so it's kind of fun. It's really fun.
I mean, a little homecoming.
It's not about me, it's like a homecoming thing.
That's cool. Yeah. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah. In fact, that was the first gig we had coming back from the COVID thing in June, you know, so
was there a good turnout?
Yeah. Well, I think people at that point, they wanted to go anywhere for any reason.
I'm telling you. So, COVID, through this whole 2 years where you couldn't really play, what did you do? Just go stir crazy, or?
Close a couple times.
Did you still jam with some people just to kind of keep your chops going and stuff?
Well, it was really cool. Like, you got to give Southern Illinois musicians, or musicians, period, you know, like, a lot of credit because they stepped up, you know, here in Southern Illinois, and they were doing it every Tuesday night for a different charity, you know, putting up videos.
It was on Facebook, wasn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'd heard about that.
Yeah, so I did a couple of those, you know, it was, you know, it felt good.
Good medicine for people.
Yeah, but a couple times, man, I thought I was going to lose it.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
I mean.
But when you got good friends, man, you know, they'll pull it through, you know, they'll pull you through.
Pull each other through.
Yeah.
Do you have a laundry list of stuff you've been putting off your whole life, and you're like, well, here's COVID, I got nothing to do, let me just knock this shit out, or
well,
did you like we all did and just go like, well, I meant to do something, but I just spin my wheels, basically?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, man, you know, I was an occasional pot smoker.
Right.
But during COVID, every day.
Oh, dude. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, a couple times, man, I thought I was going to lose it. And then it was kind of like, okay, man, it's lovely. I like it.
I'll make it through tonight,
yeah,
and tomorrow we'll deal with losing my mind again.
I'll bitch about it tomorrow, man.
Right.
Yeah, really.
Right. That was some really good time, and probably smart as far as legalization in Illinois. You notice how that happened literally a month before COVID hit?
Yeah.
It's like, is that calculated? But I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because I'm glad they did it.
No, yeah, man.
So what's your favorite album right now? Do you have one? Is there anything or anybody out there that makes you want to get up and
no
piss the neighbors off?
No.
Well, you're being honest.
Okay, it's like...
I like that.
Well, I'll tell you, in the car radio, I've been listening to KGMO from... It's all old rock and roll.
That's what I do. I hate
okay,
to say it.
You know, I'm sorry, but I can't listen to CIL. I'm sorry. I hear nothing. Yeah, I kind of like it too because it's like, wow, I'm starting to appreciate Axl Rose's voice. It's like
it only took you 30 years to catch up with him, but hey,
you know, that guy had a good voice, man. You know,
that's true. He has a very unique voice. Not too many people can sing that range.
So when that's exactly what I'm listening to when I listen to that station. I'm going, wow, those voices are something, man. You know. Like today, I was driving back in the VA, and Guns N' Roses doing "Live and Let Die." You know that Paul McCartney
They
song.
did better than Paul McCartney. I hate to say it.
His voice on that song, I'm going.
The production and everything's just like
really
right up there, man.
Son of a bitch, man. You know, I was wow. You know, that's cool shit, man.
And then that last album he did, what was that? Chinese Democracy. And he went through that whole repackaging. And at one point he was wearing cornrows and stuff. I thought that was kind of funny.
Jealous. I'm so jealous. I only dream of cornrows.
He had blonde ones too. Red hair.
Right, I can do it.
You can do some cornrows here.
You know, just comb my hair over from just on my underarm here. That hair grows all right, and I just comb it over. Then, did you do cornrows?
That's hilarious. That's a sign of your virile manhood. All that testosterone going through your body. that's how you gotta fight that when people give you flat.
Long ago, testosterone.
I remember that drug.
I remember that.
I got in a lot of trouble on that drug.
Really. Serious, man.
I don't know. Let me just give you some quick choices here. What would you like if you had a choice between, say, coffee or tea?
Yeah.
What would you choose?
Coffee.
You're a coffee man. Same
Oh
here.
yeah.
Black coffee, or you like a bunch of crap?
No. I like cream in it.
Cream and all that. Okay.
No sugar, just
Favorite beer? Do you have one?
cheap.
Doesn't matter.
Cheap.
Gotcha. PBR, whatever. Miller.
I won't do Stag though. No.
Stag's the last beer on your trip towards death, I think.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you're diabetic, you're drinking Stag, and that's the only legitimate use for Stag.
No Stag, please. No.
I don't even think Stag will get you drunk. It just makes you go to the bathroom. Dogs or cats? Neither? Both?
Dogs.
Dogs, yeah.
I
Well, you
only
know,
have one.
I tell you what, you can't fight the love of the dog or the loyalty of the dog. It's undeniable, even if you're a cat person, I think. Mexican food or Chinese?
Mexican.
I used to be a Chinese guy, but Mexican food these days.
Yeah.
I've come on over to Mexico. Hamburgers or cheeseburgers?
Both.
So
If I'm broke and I can't afford the cheese, you know what I'm saying?
that's the line, okay.
Hey, that's all right.
That's a thin line you got going, brother.
I can pretend the cheese is on there, you know what I'm saying?
Sound kind of like
Does that answer that one?
That answers it.
On a bun or white bread?
Whatever's available, right?
Yeah, amen.
I'm kind of like, if I was a world dictator, I would just get rid of hamburgers. I mean, what's the point? We all want cheese on them. You know you do.
Amen.
Sunny beach or a warm campfire?
Oh, sunny goddamn beach. Key
For real?
West. Key West.
I thought you would say warm campfire.
No,
I was wrong.
No.
I'm a warm campfire kind of guy personally.
Well,
yeah.
See, the Army cured me of that outdoor shit. You know what I'm saying? Living in a tent and fuck that shit. If there's a hotel room nearby, I'll come and sit by your fire, but I'm going back in that
Temporarily, then I'm going back to the bed when it's comfortable.
Amen.
I'm more of a winter person. I guess that's probably why I'm into that. I can only handle so much humidity.
I hear.
BB King or Albert King?
BB King.
Same here.
Yeah. That's another one that's right.
I saw him at Chirac and just blew me away.
Yeah.
David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar?
Neither.
There you go.
Neither.
You did the sideways choice on that one.
Neither.
I had to ask that because that's a real divisive question with heavy metal people. You know, like if you're into Sammy Hagar, then you're one of those guys, or if you're into David Roth, well, you're one of those guys. And
Yeah.
David Lee Roth likes to fancy himself and call himself a blues man, but I don't know. It's a thin. That's pretty thin there.
Yeah, they're very, very thin.
I remember when I saw him in 2012 in St. Louis. They dusted down the floor with talcum powder, and he wore these like slippers, so he could do that sliding around like I don't know. There's a word for it, I think, but
Michael Jackson.
yeah, but I think it goes back to like Al Jolson and even like way back. You know,
I don't know.
some really crazy.
Is he trying to tap dance?
No, but it was all about doing this like soft shoe kind of weird dancing stuff where.
But he used, the soft shoe, man, from what I gather, soft shoe was on sand.
Well, maybe that's what they were putting down. I don't know. They put some. I
didn't get to talk about.
I don't know what they used, but they dusted the stage
like
No, now he's rich. He can afford talcum powder. He doesn't have to use sand.
I don't think talcum powder would make any noise.
I don't think it was about the noise. I think it was about being able to slide around when.
Okay.
Because he was in his 60s when he did this, so this probably helped him look a little more fluent.
But I think you see old movies of tap dancers and stuff like that. They did that soft shoe.
Yeah.
It was on sand.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what he was trying to do.
Maybe that's what they did, and I just thought it was talking about. My seats were so fucking far back, I don't know what I was seeing. Probably very little.
It was cocaine. They were throwing cocaine all over the stage.
No, that's the total David Lee Roth stereotype there. You just wrapped it up on that one for sure.
All right.
Dusting the stage with coke.
God bless you.
Well, I don't know if we covered all the bases here.
Yeah.
Your new CD, we can find this at Plaza Records.
I'm sorry?
Your new CD?
Yeah.
Plaza Records?
Yeah, and you can order them online.
Oh no, it's like
Tawl Paul at Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Right, okay. Do you have an official website or a Facebook or something?
No. Just, if you want to be rude, Tawl Paul on Facebook.
You want to talk to me or book a gig, you got to come knock on my door, huh?
No, Bill Carter takes care of all the bookings, so.
Okay, so you got some guy that does
Yeah,
it.
he's the guitar player in the band. He's stone
Bill
Golden
Carter,
Frets.
did he stone Golden Frets?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's been a long time ago.
Yeah, but
I used to drive that guy crazy. I'd come in there like
good. I'm glad you did. I'm glad somebody.
I was like a little 16-year-old kid broke, and I'd just go in there and like I want to touch and play everything, and I'm not going to buy crap because I can't afford crap.
I'm glad you did it.
And you just see him like putting up with you, so tried his best, you know.
Serious.
That guy was good at fixing guitars. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of good things over the years as far as his work. You know, does he play anymore? Or is it just?
Oh, yeah, he plays in a band.
Oh, I didn't know.
And Slab and Henry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, he was at the Tawl Paul show, was he not?
Yeah.
Kind of sitting back in the corner
Yeah,
there. You
yeah,
could really
right.
see him real well.
Yeah, he's still playing in the band.
That's cool.
He books.
That's cool. You're lucky you kept your voice.
Did I?
Well, I tell you, I can't tell much difference in the past 10 years. Your voice sounds pretty solid.
Yeah.
Most guys can't say that.
Yeah.
You know, you got the
I got a.
genetic luck of the draw there.
Hey, you gave me a good idea. I'm going to get some talcum powder and spray it all over the stage.
Give it a shot. It'll make everything
Yeah,
smell
right,
better,
right.
if nothing else. You roll around in it.
Yeah, really, whatever. You know, find a wet spot.
I'd like to see you do some soft shoe with that. That'd be kind of funny.
It's sand. I'm telling you, it's sand.
So until you take the stage again, Paul, let's all remember to live, love, and keep listening to the blues.
Amen.
See you on the flip side.
Amen.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you coming and
All
singing
right,
with
thank
me.
you for doing it, man.
Let's do this again soon.
Thanks for the laughs.
Excellent.
Been a while.
Thank you very much.